The Sinaloa Cartel is one of the main drug exporters in the world, especially to the United States. It was led by figures like Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán and continues to operate with strength today. That's why Donald Trump declared open war against this type of cartel, labeling them as foreign terrorist organizations and even threatening military intervention.
The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
The message was clear: zero tolerance. But what does the cartel think about this? Recently, Isabel Young interviewed a member of the Sinaloa Cartel involved in drug production and asked him directly about Trump. What's your message to Donald Trump if he's watching this? My respects. He does what's best for his people, but the problem is the consumers in the United States. If there were no consumers, we would stop. In Sinaloa, Mexico, violence breaks out almost every night, as it is the heart of one of the world's most dangerous criminal groups. The Sinaloa Cartel, once led by the infamous drug lord El Chapo. The cartel member was asked how dangerous the areas they operate in are. He said that currently, all areas are dangerous, meaning not even civilians are safe from this violence. Many locals claim that nothing is being done to change the situation. When asked whether the Mexican military is trying to stop drug production and how it affects their work, the cartel member said the military is doing a good job, with more soldiers involved. Still, the cartel is looking for ways to keep operating, although now on a smaller scale. Apparently, the military's actions are having some effect, slowing down production, but there's still a long way to go before the situation is under control. Next, the cartel member was asked again about Trump, specifically what he thought about the Trump administration labeling cartels as terrorists. He responded that the situation is tough, but they have to eat. Then came the same question we saw at the beginning of the video, asking what message he would give to Trump. In his response, it's clear that they understand the measures being taken by the US. But he insists the problem isn't that they produce drugs, it's that there are too many consumers in the United States. If there were no consumers, they wouldn't produce anything. Lastly, he was asked if he feels any remorse for his role and involvement in a group responsible for widespread violence that causes people to die every day and leaves children afraid to go to school. He answered yes, of course, and said the situation is sad. To understand what civilians in Sinaloa are going through, Isabel Young also interviewed the sister of Vivian Espuro, a civilian who was killed by the cartel. Her sister said that Vivian had never been involved with anyone dangerous, but the violence in the area led to her death. She explained that in the past, there were codes and women and children were respected, but with the increase in violence, no one is safe anymore. She was also asked whether the people feel that authorities are truly going after the criminals. Since the government claims to be making arrests and targeting drugs and weapons, she said the authorities are doing nothing, and that the area has become a place where life is unbearable. These testimonies reveal the deep insecurity felt by the Mexican people, and that despite government claims of working to solve the conflict, the truth is that current efforts are insufficient. The reality in Sinaloa is alarming. More than 1,200 people have been killed in the past year, an average of 3 people per day. Hundreds more have gone missing, making the situation critical. All of this is fueled by the drug trade, which starts in cultivation fields like these, used for marijuana or poppies, from which opium is extracted to later make heroin. A field like this can easily produce around 2 kilos. When discovered, the military burns the marijuana and poppies, but synthetic drugs are now responsible for most of the 87,000 overdose deaths in the United States in the last year. Drugs like fentanyl and methamphetamine can be produced in much larger quantities, generate enormous profits, and are easier to hide. In addition to crop fields, the military also searches for and destroys clandestine labs like this one. The cartel produces, the government fights, and society suffers. This is the cycle that repeats day after day in Sinaloa. Authorities present numbers, operations, arrests, and seizures. Cartels adapt, resist, and reorganize. And in between, civilians try to survive in a place where fear is constant and justice feels unreachable. Donald Trump declared war on the cartels. He called them terrorists. threatened military action, and demanded results. But while the US points to an external enemy, the producer, does it take responsibility for its role as a consumer? The cartel members' answer was clear. If there were no consumers in the United States, we would stop. So it's worth asking, bluntly, who keeps this industry alive? The one who produces or the one who buys? Can drug trafficking exist without a market demanding it? Does it make sense to talk about a war on drugs if no one seriously addresses addiction and consumption? Violence in Mexico doesn't happen in isolation. It's fueled from outside. It's the human cost of a system that consumes without thinking about the real price. And the question we're left with is as simple as it is uncomfortable. Does the United States really want to end drug trafficking, or just keep buying without getting its hands dirty? Let us know what you think in the comments.